And now, a Taurus forced reset trigger public service announcement.
What's up, everybody? This is going to be a quick, hopefully quick video on basically a warning. This little gun, a Taurus TX22 calibered in .22 LR, has recently taken YouTube and the internet kind of by storm, specifically for the addition of a part that allows it to operate in forced reset trigger and still fires in semi-automatic, just faster in semi-automatic. This is going to be a tale of two pistols. The one on the right was my first one, and the one on the left was my second one. I bought the one on the right, and I specifically ordered the FreedomFingers TX22 FRT. I don't know if I got the model right or wrong, but it's a force reset trigger from Freedom Fingers. It was basically drop in, worry free. You operate the pistol, and yeah, it allows the weapon to function in forced reset mode, and there's really not much you have to worry about. However, the one on the left I bought, and then I saw all these copies, and I don't know if necessarily to label them copies, because the file for the FRT part has been available for a while on the internet. You could 3D print them yourselves. However, I believe that one was out of spec. However, Freedom Fingers triggers, I think they kind of cracked the code and got all the specifications down. But on this second one on the left, I figured, hey, why spend the $125 on a small piece of metal when all these other guys are selling it for $20, $25, $30, or basically at quote-unquote discount prices? You will end up seeing why they charge that little for their forced reset triggers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Freedom Fingers FRT. This is how it looks installed on the frame and its most upward position. You can tell that it has a doesn't have any sharp edges. It's nice and rounded. There's really no machine marks on the side. There is machine marks on the top there, but there's really nothing to worry about. And if you really wanted to do something about it, you could really just lightly sand it, if you will, if you wanted, and polish it, but really that is not necessary. Now, this is a discount FRT. I've actually ordered one off an actual website and one set off eBay, those eBay FRTs. This specific one is off of eBay. The machine marks on the side of the piece are less noticeable because I actually kind of sanded them off a little bit, but they tend to be pretty rough. And you can notice that this one actually has a sharp edge on top. Overall, the machining is poor. It is poorly made. And this one was actually sold as fitted to a gun before they actually sent it to you. I don't think that that's the case. I think they just basically copied and pasted an outline or drawing of something, or they basically had like maybe a nylon 3D printed version and tried to do a copy off of that. But this one has turned out to be the biggest piece of that I have ever encountered in my my time in guns, and that's saying a lot. Because a lot of people are actually taking advantage of this FRT craze, and specifically for this type of pistol, because literally all it requires is one single piece. It looks fairly easy to make, but they don't seem to have the mental capacity to be able to create a decent product. And actually, this is actually a dangerous product. Okay, so the one on the right, the slide, is the first one that actually has a higher round count than the one on the left, which is my newer pistol that has less of a round count. And what you will notice is this. Hopefully the light can capture this, but the force reset trigger runs along here. If you will notice, the one that uses a Freedom Fingers trigger, or Freedom Fingers FRT, basically looks brand new. You can see some type of wear here. I believe that's part of the nature of the force reset trigger. I'll probably make a video in regards to that specifically in the future, probably, but long story short, without getting too much into the weeds or anything like that, just see the difference between this one that has a higher round count than this one that has less of a round count. And when I'm talking about less of a round count, this one has like maybe over 500 rounds. They're still kind of fairly new, but this one has around a little over 100 rounds. And check how much damage that there is to the slide, to the slide. I believe this is called the firing pin striker housing or something like that. Again, don't quote me on that, but primarily this video is to basically show what the Freedom Fingers trigger, a good made product, versus eBay and other guys that are trying to create copies. So if you want this type of damage, go ahead and buy the eBay ones. Go ahead and go and Google it and put FRT TX22 triggers. Buy them for $20, $25 at a discount. But rest assured that your pistol will have damage. This one, drop free. This one can be sold as drop free, quote unquote, or sometimes we'll say, well, you gotta do your own little fitting. Sometimes they'll give you warnings, sometimes they won't. But check this out. Even the metal has been deformed a little bit by using a cheap piece of eBay FRT. So if you have a TX22, if you want to put an FRT in it, Freedom Fingers FRTs is what you want to buy. If you buy it at $100 or $125, as long as it's a legit product from Freedom Fingers, it is well worth your money. Guys that are trying to create copies that didn't pass the 5th grade tracing class,
if you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
This is what you're going to get. You're going to get this